Out of Chaumont, New York, that's Zach Aubertine. The next row on the inside will go the 12 of Addison Bowman out of Mexico, New York. And on the outside, the 117 junior of CJ Castelletti. CJ out of Sequoia, New York. The next row on the inside will go the 23 of Cameron Black out of Lafargeville. And on the outside, the 63 of second generation driver Adam Roberts out of Watertown. The next row on the inside will go the 21 of Andrew Howard. Andy out of Hammond, New York. And in that final starting spot in the 49 out of Watertown, New York, that's Billy Dunn. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your lineup for tonight's Mental Health Association of Jefferson County Whitesboro Plow Shops DIRTcar 358 Modified Feature Go. And to call all the action for you in the first half of this race, once again, here's Tim Balls. Tim?
Well, thank you very much, Jamie, as Derek Webb pulled up here on the front straightaway, and I believe he's going to wait on the field to come back around. And we'll be just about set and ready to kick this one off. Lance Willix, the only two-time winner this year, and going for his third win of the season already. Opening day, of course, here at Can-Am. We went to Jacksonville on April the 25th, and then it was Lance Willix on May the 2nd, rain on May the 9th. Tim Fuller came back with career win number 48 here at the Can-Am Speedway on May the 9th. We were off the week later, and Lance Willix picked up the summer starter for a second consecutive year. 25 very fast laps around the Can-Am Speedway here. Race number 5 of 2025. Billy Dunn starting way back in position number 16 on the grid. It's going to be very interesting indeed in his he's come from the back of the field to get up into the top 3 on a number of occasions already this season. So we'll look to see if he can do it again. He's going to have to do it if he wants to stay within striking distance of Lance Willix. The chase for the track championship here at Can-Am. Dunn looking for his 7th track title. Willix looking for his 2nd. Well, right now, Ryan Bartlett and Shaun Shaw are up on that front row. Again, 50-50 ticket will be drawn after this feature event as well. 2 tickets, one for the Lake Placid weekend and one for the money. We're set to go green. Pace truck is off the speedway. The Whitesboro Plow Shop. DIRTcar 358 Modifieds are green at Can-Am. And the men's scramble for supremacy is on down the back straightaway as Ryan Bartlett jumps out in front of the field as they go to turn number 3 and 4. Shaun Shaw already up to 2nd. Scott Webb now to 3rd. Derek Webb into 4th. RJ Tresidder 5th. Tim Fuller is already into the top 6. Lance Willix giving chase with them as well as they spread out through turns 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. Ryan Bartlett. It's been a while since he's been to victory lane here at Can-Am. Bartlett has not won here since the 2022 campaign. Shaun Shaw right there with him as well as they come down across the line. Once again, left number 2 up on the board. And Ryan Bartlett giving chase, looking back through the field. Scott Webb is 3rd. Derek Webb still 4th. And a great battle for 5th, 6th, and 7th. We got Cameron Black off the pace on the front straightaway. Looks like a little bit of smoke coming out of the back of the 23 Cameron Black down here on the front stretch. Yellow lights are on. With just 2 laps complete. So Cameron Black getting pushed away, the number 23. don't forget as well, scheduled to go tonight is the mechanics race. And Tim Fuller is actually slowed to a stop up there in turn number 2. And there's a piece of debris over there in turn number 2, and Fuller stopped over there, recognized that, so he will get to go back up in his position. Looks like he may wait for the rest of the field to come around, just sitting over there off of turn number 2 right now. There's the debris right there to the outside of turn number 2. It looks like it could be just a piece of tin off of one of the cars, but we'll see it here in a moment. It looks like a hose of some sorts. And not sure where that hose came from, but with the problem with Cameron Black's number 23, that could be the culprit right there. Well, white flag will be displayed next time by. We're going to double them up. White flag in the air, back to green next time by. It's Ryan Bartlett, Shaun Shaw on the front row, Derek and Scott Webb in row number 2, RJ Tresidder, Tim Fuller, row 3, row 4, Lance Willix and Remington Hamm, row 5, it's Tyler Meeks and Addison Bowman, row number 6. We are going to find in car number 49, that's Billy Dunn, 21, Andy Howard will join him in that next row. Then it's the 621 of Zach Aubertine and the 117 of CJ Castelletti, and Adam Roberts completes the rest of the field in the 63. 2 laps are complete, 23 to go. Bob Johnson Auto Group, Can-Am Speedway pace truck peels off the Speedway to the safe haven of the pits in turn number 3. We're going to get set to go back under the green flag with 2 down, 23 to go. Ryan Bartlett on the hammer, Shaun Shaw with him. We're back to green. Again, Ryan Bartlett shoots out into the race lead. Shaun Shaw right there with him in second as they hit the back straightaway. Scott Webb, Derek Webb, that's your top 4. RJ Tresidder trying to hold on for 5th, but Tim Fuller rockets around the outside, and they caught a big bump down there in turn number 3 and 4. And Andy Howard with a problem in the 21. He is loaded to a stop over there just to the outskirts of turn number 4. Yellow lights are back on with 3 in the books. And Andy Howard immediately gets it refired and heads towards pit road. The number 21 out of Hammond, New York. G&R Auto Parts Machine heads towards pit road. A tough break for Andy. Andy has wins here in 4 different divisions. He's got wins here in big block modifieds, dirt car sportsman, crate late models, and the pure stock ranks as well. Jamie, interesting opening 3 laps here, and Ryan Bartlett's been looking pretty good, but hard to tell at this point who's got the clear advantage, right?
Well, at this point in the race, Ryan has been absolutely superb on these restarts. But I noticed that Tim Fuller is using the outside of that racetrack. He's staying off the bottom. And when you got a point-and-click race car and it goes just about anywhere you want it to, he's in a lane all by himself out there.
Absolutely. I mean, he gets it pointed in the right direction. He is absolutely unbeatable at this place. We've seen it the last 4 years here. So Ryan Bartlett, Shaun Shaw, they'll bring him back to green. Next time by, Tommy Martin staying out there with the Can-Am Speedway pace truck. Ryan Bartlett, Shaun Shaw, Scott Webb, and Derek Webb, row 2. Tim Fuller, Lance Willix, row number 3. Row 4, RJ Tresidder and Addison Bowman. Row number 5, it is going to be the 49 of Billy Dunn, 57, Remington Hamm, row 6. Zach Aubertine, Addison Bowman, row number 7, Adam Roberts, CJ Castelletti, Andy Howard able to make it back out, so he is still with us. Ryan Bartlett's been since the 2022 campaign when he last won a feature here. Like to change that. Derek Webb and Scott Webb both had wins here last year. Shaun Shaw's not won since 2022 either. Tim Fuller and Lance Willix, well, they've got wins already in 25. Green lights are back on and we're underway. Ryan Bartlett immediately to the point as he hit the back straightaway. The 7 of Shaun Shaw able to fend off the 18 of Scott Webb for the moment as they go down into turn number 3 and 4 as the field works it up off the turn. Bartlett with a steady race car out there right now. He's got a comfortable advantage over the 7 of Shaw, who's trying his best to keep pace with the race leader at the moment. Scott Webb now into position number 3. Derek Webb up there into 4th. Lance Willix has cleared Tim Fuller for the 5 spot. Fuller trying to fight back with Tyler Meeks right there to his hip pocket as they go into turn 3 and 4 and back down to the line one more time with 5 laps complete. 20 more to go, and Bartlett looking to end a long winless drought here at Can-Am, and what a move that was by Lance Willix. He put the hammer down, just drove by the 66 of Derek Webb to move up into 4th, as right now Webb back to 5th, Fuller still 6th. Tyler Meeks trying to get by him for a spot. Billy Dunn trying to find his way towards the front as well, trying to keep that 31 of Lance Willix in his sights as he battles RJ Tresidder for position number 7, and he'll get it down the back straightaway. In the meantime, no, everybody single file around the inside portion of the racetrack. 7 down, 18 to go for Ryan Bartlett, Shaun Shaw, Scott Webb, and the 31 of Lance Willix. That's your top 4 at the moment. Derek Webb still in the battle with Fuller for the number 5 position as Willix going farther forward. He gets alongside of Scott Webb for position number 3, and Willix hammer down up off the turn. He'll grab the 3 spot down in front. So the man out of 3 City, New York on the charge here in the early going. Brownville, Scott Webb holding on to 4th. Another Brownville native and Derek Webb holding on to the 5 spot. Fuller still 6th. Tyler Meeks, Billy Dunn, 7th and 8th. RJ Tresidder, 9th, and Remington Hamm. Again, another solid top 10 run, holding on to 10th at the moment as we work at lap number 9, and Ryan Bartlett's been looking good throughout the early laps of this one. Shaun Shaw doing all he can to try to keep pace with the race leader. 31 of Lance Willix still there in 3rd. Scott Webb, not much he can do about it, holding on to 4th at the moment. Derek Webb trying to fend off Tim Fuller for the 5 spot as they drag race down the front straightaway. Fuller takes a peek down low. Derek Webb gives him a little bit of room down on the inside, but Webb able to hold the spot. Now Fuller got a great drive that time. We'll keep our eye on this battle as Fuller will go to the 5 spot. Derek Webb could get kicked back to 6, but Webb able to keep that car rolling up on the outside lane. They drag race. They've been battling for the last couple of laps or so. Now Fuller takes the advantage into turn number 1 and 2. So he's now into the top 5. He's got a long way to go to catch the top 4 drivers. It's still Bartlett, Shaw, and Willix, the top 3, and then Scott Webb into 4th. Keeping an eye on Lance Willix, point leader coming into tonight's racing program. 2 wins on the season. Closing in on Shaun Shaw for the runner-up spot. And Shaw looked like he slowed a little bit in turn number 3 and 4 as we come to the halfway point. Ryan Bartlett looks really strong here at lap 13, Jamie.
He sure does, and Ryan And Shaw is off the pace. Shaun Shaw out of Philadelphia, New York, is pulled down to the bottom side of the racetrack, and that is going to bring out the caution here in lap number 13. A tough break for Shaun Shaw. He had a great race going, Tim, and that is just awful when something like that happens.
When something like that happens after you've had such a good run, I mean, look at the drivers that he's fending off here. He fended off Derek Webb, Scott Webb, and Lance Willix to keep second, and you can see the frustration in a hand just pounding on the steering wheel. Shaun Shaw, like, great competitor here at Can-Am. His only modified win, though, coming here on September the 2nd, 2022. So it's not that he doesn't have a strong enough car to get there. He just needs some luck.
Well, I kind of am cheering for Shaun because when you see a driver like this up and coming and doing as well as he is, he will be something to see in the future. I can guarantee that. He
absolutely will be, for sure. Just need to have everything going your way in this sport.
Lance Willix, incredible. Just watching him come up through there, Ryan knows that Lance and Tim Fuller are lurking in the weeds there. So he knows these restarts are very, very important.
Absolutely. Could see some, later in life as the years go on here, could see some Hall of Famers potentially in that top 5 right there. Lance Willix being one of them, in my opinion.
Absolutely. And Lance's father, I'm sure, would be very, very proud of him, the way he's come up through. And
absolutely.
He has also done a great job down at Glen Ridge as well.
Defending track champion there. If they could ever get the rain out of the way, they might be able to get some laps in there. But you're right, he is the defending champion at Glen Ridge, too, and he'd like to add a second Can-Am title to his resume.
And he loves going down there. He says that the camaraderie and the people and everything, he says it's just a fun place to go to. All right, we're set to go. 13 complete, ladies and gentlemen. Important restart coming right here. Here's Willix on the outside, Bartlett down on the inside, and Ryan is going to take that important lead going into that number 1 and 2 turn. Willix is back there second. There's Fuller up on the outside, and Tim goes up to the number 3 position. Scott Webb is back there in 4th, and Billy Dunn, who started way back at the very back of this field, has moved up and is challenging to move into the top 5 right here on the outside part of the racetrack with Derek Webb in the 66W. Bartlett is trying to stretch that lead a little bit over Willix. 15 laps completed. Willix is second, Tim Fuller is third, Scott Webb is 4th, Derek Webb rides back there 5th, Billy Dunn is 6th. As they come off that number 4 turn, it is still Ryan Bartlett in front. He's got about a 7 or 8 car length lead over the 31 of Lance Willix out of Theresa, New York. Tim Fuller out of Edwards runs back there in 3rd. Scott Webb still holding on to that number 4 spot, but Scott is picking up a little ground on Tim Fuller. He seems to lose it a little bit on the straightaways, but then he picks it right back up to the 3rd. Billy Dunn is trying to hang on to that number 6 spot, but he is getting some pressure back there. As they come off the number 4 turn, Ryan Bartlett to complete lap number 18. Willix is back there in 2nd. Tim Fuller is 3rd, and Tim has gained a little bit of ground on Lance Willix. He is about 2 car lengths in back of Willix and continues to close that gap. Bartlett has opened up now about a 10 or 11 car length lead on Lance Willix as they complete lap number 19. Fuller is back there in 3rd. Scott Webb is in 4th. Derek Webb is in 5th. And he is still feeling a lot of heat from Billy Dunn, who Billy this time takes the outside part of the racetrack, but Webb is still there. And here's Dunn on the inside. And Dunn trying to take away that number 5 spot, and he may have it as they come off that number 2 turn, and Dunn moves into the top 5. Right now it is all Ryan Bartlett out in front with 21 complete. Willix is in second, Fuller third. Scott Webb is still in fourth. Billy Dunn is fifth. Derek Webb still sixth in the number 6 spot. Coming around to complete lap number 22, and it is still Ryan Bartlett. And he's got a good grip on that steering wheel, I'm sure, and is looking around to see who's coming. But he has got a tremendous lead out there. He's now at least 10 car lengths in front of Lance Willix. 2 to go for Ryan Bartlett. Willix still second. Fuller is third. Scott Webb is fourth. And rounding out the top 5 is Billy Dunn. Ryan Bartlett, white flag is out. Can he do it? 24 complete. Lance Willix is second. Bartlett continues to maintain about a 8 or 9 car lead now. But it is the final lap. Around turns 3 and 4 he comes, and it looks like they come down the front straightaway. Ryan Bartlett will be your winner. Willix will finish in second. Fuller will get the number 3 spot. Scott Webb will finish in fourth, and Billy Dunn will round out the top 5. Scott Aubertine is pulled to the infield in that 6:21 here.